Okay, so hello and welcome back everyone. Today I have something new on the table which is not this stuff. I'm sorry because I just finished this repair, more like DIYing a charger essentially. So it's all fresh right here. Lens tools. Now what I have for you is this, which is the Pentax Q. This thing is super small as heck. Like you can actually see my LG V30 right here. It's actually smaller than my phone. Like what the heck? And it's like almost as deep as my phone, I think. Only with this hood it becomes a lot bigger. And I got this like what you call it? Um viewfinder from my RX 100. So what happened was that I accidentally bought this thing like like 2 days ago I think. I said like some seller on a local marketplace. Like even though this even though the world has like coronavirus, but I just said like how 200,000 rupiah be. So that'd be like $15 I think. $15 US. So think of that. I got this thing dead. Like I sort of bid on this thing. And suddenly I got it like for tomorrow. The second day, the next day after I said that to the seller, the seller's like, do you actually understand that this thing's broken? And I was like, yes. And he's like, okay, I'm gonna go change the price. So like, what the heck? I got this thing dead for $20. I mean less than that, because 200,000 rupiah is like $15. So then what it turned out to be was that this thing actually had a dead battery. So we open this little slot right here, got the battery right here, and this thing was showing 0 volts. So what I did was I charged this thing up using some very not nicely uh not safe, not safe charging methods, which is like this. So this is essentially what comes if you buy like little vape chargers. So I got tons of these like vape chargers in my house. And so what they have is like a plus and minus, and they actually have bit that connects to the vape. I don't have the vape, but I do have the chargers, which is quite odd. So this thing connects to this, like the plus and minus. Then what you do is snip the cables off and put the cables onto like this golden contact battery. So since these things are pretty rare in Indonesia, I actually was considering buying a charger for this thing. But chargers were like $30, so they're like double the price of this thing. And I also got like a real cool strap which is original leather with this thing. Let me go take it for a while. Okay, so this thing came with this strap right here, which I see on Amazon is $20 and it's real leather. So that's pretty cool. And I also got the original Pentax strap, which I'm not gonna use at all. I'm also not gonna use this thing because I don't like straps at all. Then this hood was actually on my Jupiter 8, I think, yeah, my Jupiter 8. And this has the thread delete, so I had to put some stuff on. Also I got like a little Kenko UV filter thingy which I never use because I hate UV filters. Then what I like about this thing is that, oh yeah, let me go explain to you how I actually made the charger, because obviously I don't want to buy a charger that costs double the camera. So let me go to the flash. Okay, and this is my charger. So this is essentially what I just showed you just now, which is a flip charger right here. This thing charges at 400, I think, for 420 milliamps at 5 volts. So this thing will charge the Pentax Q battery perfectly. So what I have here is like this little plastic bit that holds the battery in. Then you have these wires running into these things, which were from this Fujifilm camera that I just took apart right here. Now this thing's in pieces because I just harvested the battery mount thingy. And now if you actually look at this thing, you can actually see this thing charging. See? So if you wanna charge with this thing, it actually has an indicator. So if you're charging, it becomes green. If you can actually see it with me, so I can. So you can see, it becomes green. So when the screen's actually charging, I mean it's actually connected. So you can actually plug it in and it's gonna charge. And the nice thing about using these vape charger things is because of the fact that they actually have LEDs. So you can actually know when you're fully charged. And so how you do it, just plug this thing in and put a rubber band around it. That's how I plug these things in. And so for the condition of this thing, it's not really bad. Now it actually turns on and I have a full battery right now. Like see. So let me go turn this thing off. Cool. So this thing has a dead CMOS battery obviously. Cause it's like a few years old already. The kit lens is like perfectly working. And so the problem with this thing for me at least is this. So number one, this thing has no markings on the top dial because it's got like a little dent right there. Like if you can actually see a little dent right there. Now that is because of somebody dropping it on the floor. Then next thing is that this thing's really small. So so it's actually pretty hard to hold in one hand, but it's not hard to not it's not easy to like accidentally press a button. It's I should call slippery. Let's see, not really slippery because it has this little thing, but it's just not that nice to hold in your hand. Now for dials, you have this five-way dial thingy, this turny thingy. Now this thing can actually control like a ton of stuff that I don't really use at all. And what else? Oh yeah, okay. Now because of the fact that this thing has a 1/2.3 sensor, which is like almost the same as you get on your action cam and stuff like that. So what I'm thinking about is 3D printing a mount for this thing to go on. I mean to accept C mount and CS mount and M12 lenses, which are the same as GoPro lenses. And I might be using a Phantom 3, a DJI Phantom 3's lens, cause that thing has like 90 degree FOV, f2.8 perfect. Now for this kit lens, it actually has a SMC Pentax f2.8 to 4.5, 15 to 15, I mean 5 to 15 millimeters. So this thing is the Pentax Q02. Now for the lenses, they actually numbered them from 1 to like I don't know how many. So so the lenses are pretty much, well, yeah. Let me tell you about these lenses. They're actually pretty nice. Like compared to the hunk of shit like Sony sends to you every single time you buy a camera from them, this is actually pretty nice. It's actually metal, and the rubber's pretty nice. The lens optics themselves are pretty nice. This thing has a leaf shutter inside the lens, so every single lens you have has a shutter inside of it, and it also has a built-in ND filter, which is like awesome as heck. Wait, no, what the heck's my shutter? Seems like that's the ND. What the heck's with my lens? It's either the ND or the uh, it's either ND or what the heck is that thing? I'm not sure. It's got something in there, I think. I'm not really sure what the heck that thing is. Might just be some reflection inside the lens. It's got this black little spot right there. So, but for the lens, it's actually pretty clean for how old it is. Okay, I think that's actually oil. Yeah, it looks like oil. Okay, so I actually have some oily aperture blades, which is okay, I'd say. My Jupiter 9 has like heck, I don't know how much oil on its optics. So next thing this thing is good at is it actually has a flash built in, not like the Sony cameras, which is uh, nice, I'd say. Also, it also like pops out really high, which is good for like clearing off the lens. Then next thing is that the SD card slot actually on the side, and if you actually try to take the SD card out while it's on, it'll turn off, which is not how they do it in Sony. So I thought the thing was died on me just now, but I actually didn't because of this like Pentax security thing. I'm not sure. Then for the buttons, they actually feel pretty cheap, I'd say. They sound like way too loud and they're a bit too hard to press. I mean the garbage thing and the AV thing are pretty nice, but the four-way thingy is pretty hard. The menu and info is also pretty nice. Then for the what you call it, uh, for the shutter button, people complain of it not having any stops in the thing, so it's like squishy and click. So I'm actually okay with this thing, and I might actually like this thing over the normal like double press thingy. So it's like you feel it goes down quick and it goes down fully quick. Then the dials are pretty heavy. I mean the front dial thing is pretty heavy. The back dials okay, and this button is also okay. Then it does not have a tilting screen, but it does have a variable brightness, so you can actually turn it bright or lower. Then for this thing, I don't think it has any flip screen or something like that. Doesn't seem like it has one, which is gonna be pretty shocking if it does have one. For the Boyons, doesn't have one. Now I don't know anything at all about this thing because I accidentally bought it yesterday, so don't blame me of not knowing anything. Now the condition of the lenses is, I mean the lens I got is not that good. Like considering if you look at the side of this barrel, you can see like a ton of this black stuff on it. Not sure what the heck that thing is. It's got these chips on there. See? But overall that's not bad, I'd say. Also the sensor is pretty small, which you might have to take into account while buying this thing. And the back of my lens is okay. So only the front has like this oily rubbish on the lens. But I'm fine with oily lenses. So also the 6 quality, even though it's pretty small, it's like really heavy, I'd say. So I haven't tested this thing on the Smooth Q gimbal. It might not work on the Smooth Q, I think. Even though it's like the size of an RX 100, it weighs a bit more than the RX 100. So I don't know. Also, it's pretty cool because of the fact that it's very small. Like let me go show you the size of my A3000. Now I don't have my Nex 5N anymore. My 5T sold already. So what I have now is my A3000, and that thing's really big. I've been planning on getting A7, but um I haven't found any cheap ones, so I'm gonna go get my A3000. I'm gonna be back after. Okay, and I'm back with the A3000. Let me go put this thing on the table. See, this is like only the body. Usually when I go out, I bring this thing and the Jupiter 9, which I have. Now I don't think I've made any videos on the Jupiter 9. I bought this thing like in rubbish condition also, but that's for another video. So I've got this thing with the DJI lens cap in the back, which is because I don't have a lens cap for this thing. This is in Pentax RF. Now this thing itself weighs like more than the Pentax Q. That's how heavy it. I mean how light it is. Like it's super light. So when you mount this thing on your Sony, now this adapter is 3D printed and I've made it myself for Contax RF. So that's why You probably never seen this that. Now, judging by just how it looks, you can probably see how heavy it is on the A3000 side, and you can probably see how small the Pentax Q is, even with this hood. Now, because of my plan of putting a Phantom 3 lens or Phantom 4 lens on this thing, so it's from DJI obviously a lens, I'm gonna have to require a small M12 3D printed mount, I'd say. So the M12 mount will be put on here, which is like this high, and the lens gonna stick out around that high. So it's really gonna be very small. This thing's gonna be like my GoPro essentially, of the IBIS. Oh yeah, I haven't talked about it. So um, this little Pentax Q actually has IBIS in it. So the sensor actually shifts when you're moving about, and actually works pretty well, pretty good, until you actually encounter something you call video. Now this thing is pretty rubbish in video. I like the Nex 5N for video. I like the A7S, the A6000 Plus series. I like that. Um, for the A3000, this thing's disappointing as heck. Like um, the bitrate's okay, but only records at like 25 FPS. So, cause mine is the European version. So this thing records at like 25 FPS and 50i, which if you're recording video with I, that's just like a rubbish video, so just don't do it. You're gonna see like this ghosting stuff all on your video. It's not worth getting more FPS for I. So, so I actually pretty regret selling the 5N, but that's okay. Cause I thought I'm gonna get an A7 by now, but seems like the marketplaces haven't let me get an A7 of the high prices and of the coronavirus. So, of the coronavirus, the marketplaces have like died down essentially, and the result of that's that fewer sellers are selling stuff, so it's harder to get your stuff you want. And I actually got this thing. Don't know why the heck this guy's selling it for so cheap, but who knows. So next thing is the yeah, this thing actually has plugs in the bottom for PC or AV and HDMI. Now why the heck would you put like ports right beside the tripod mount? I do not understand. But then this PC port I do not have a charger cable like that, so I can't really charge it from that thing. And I don't think it will actually take any charge from that thing. Now, so what else can I show you? This thing's pretty boring. Like I actually bought this thing, and oh yeah, something else that's different with this thing from any other camera is like um this kit lens is nice, but the thing is that it's pretty disorienting. So usually in other cameras, the the point that it's like lowest, like it's long here and it's gonna be short here, that's gonna be at its widest. On this camera, it's gonna be on this like most telephoto essentially on this low bit, and it's gonna be the widest in this 5 thingy, which is 5 millimeter, and it's gonna be the longest at 5 millimeter. So I'm pretty not used to that essentially. This thing's kit lens reminds me of the Olympus Zuiko 14 to 50 to 40 something, I say 14 to 42. I used to have one of those, and the zooming is actually smooth like that, like that lens, and the focus feels a bit looser than Zuiko's, but this thing feels like Zuiko, only a bit more hefty and a bit more essentially classy and expensive essentially. So although this thing's probably plastic, and comparing this thing to the what of shit Sony gives you, which is the Sony 16 to 50 kit lens. Let me go show you this thing. I actually have it because I bought this thing and I got that thing for free. Now, this is a what of shit, like literally a what of shit. No one should be using this. Like, only use this thing because of the fact that it's actually a cheap wide angle. So this thing is I think the only wide angle I have. For now I have that Jupiter 9. Let me go see what I have. And this is I think a Fuji non 50 1.4. Yeah, it's the Fuji non 50 1.4. I haven't sold it because nobody's bought it. So so only have the 50 and 85 mil. So this 16 to 50 actually um gives me the wide angle I never had on the Sony. Now this is a piece of shit, like literally. This is like so plastic as heck. Let me go take this thing off. So it's like so plastic, and the zoom thingy actually like wobbles, and this thing's like so wobbly and stuff. And it's like so easy to damage, and you stop it once and it's dies. So Sony needs to make this up with kit lenses for some reason. Now um so this thing also has double IR receiver, so it has one here and one here, which is very odd. Now this looks like one, but I'm not sure. I'm sure about this thing, but I'm not sure about this thing. Now IR receivers are essentially for remote controls for the things, like remote button thingy for like group photos and stuff. Like why the heck would you want a remote? Since the first day I owned my Max 5N and 5T and 5, I've never in the in the most remote way I've never used the remote. I've used the remote on the RX 100 Mark II I had. Um, Nothing was not the IR remote thing. That thing was on the Wi-Fi. So I was using that thing for something that I couldn't. Oh yeah. So if you guys remember the thing that the video I told about this lens, I think, which is the Fuji Non 51.4 right here. Now I actually thought this thing apart with the RX 100, like right here in, like I have a tripod and stuff like that right in here, and I was doing it right here. Now this thing used to have like a wooden piece right here for soldering and stuff. I've moved that out of the room because this room's smelling really bad after soldering. So what else? Oh yeah. So I think that should be it for the Pentax Q and what I think about it after having it for like a few hours. Um, this thing is not the best, let's say. I think I can get better video and photo with this LG G7 or my V13 or any other phone, I think. But this thing actually has the capability of like switching lenses. That's the thing I actually want the most. Like, you buy a mirrorless camera right now, and the thing you want most about the mirrorless camera is not the fact that you can like have the kit lens and like play around with the kit lens. No, the kit lens is rubbish. You don't want like keep on taking wide angle shots. What you want is like to use this tighter focal length. At least that's for me. So I want this tighter focal length. I want like this is really awesome. This Jupiter 9. This is 85mm f 2.0. That's awesome. Now, what you get with these things are essentially another shooting experience. So it's like, what you get from these things is like different essentially. It's not like your phone where you shoot and that's it. In sorry, I'm actually recording this at like 12 o'clock in the night, I think. So I'm pretty sleepy right now. Now in using mirrorless cameras, you actually feel something different for me at least, like in the shooting aspect. Like you can try out lenses, and that's like the best thing about mirrorless cameras. It's about the fact that you can actually try out lenses. So from like all of these things, I might be having gas right now, like gear acquisition syndrome, but literally these things are fun because of the fact that you can play around, and the fact that you can play around gives you more time essentially to spend on your stuff than being bored as heck. especially in this time, which is the coronavirus epidemic thing. So, oh yeah, let me talk about these things. So these things are essentially adapted for the smooth Q to any mirrorless cameras. I've actually put the Nex 5N on the G smooth Q, which is obviously full gimbal. I've put the RS100, and I'm probably gonna mount this thing, but I totally find a point because this thing's video rubbish. Like, it's more rubbish than this. Well, I can say this is more rubbish than the Nex 5N, which is the camera from 2011. Then the Nex 5N is obviously more rubbish than like the A6000 somethings. So, I'm not gonna fight that, but I really do wanna buy an RS100 after this. But I wanna buy an A7S. That's like something I have to think about. Also, it's gonna be pretty hard to buy stuff because of the fact that some cities in my country are actually not allowed to have joint postage essentially. So you're not allowed to mail stuff to some parts of the country, which is pretty bad. Um, so what do I want to show? This thing is the thing from the S100. I got this, and I don't know what about this thing, but if this thing is actually the original Pentax um hot shoe cover, it's actually pretty odd, cause you can see it has one side like fully, I don't know what the heck you call it. It's like the retainer thing is on one side, and the other side has no retainer. Like on the Sony ones, they actually have on both sides like retainers, but on this one has one side, so that's pretty odd. Now, for shooting the Pentax, it's actually pretty fun because of the fact that nobody actually looks at you at all. Like they think, oh, it's probably a toy camera or something like that. It's actually better to shoot on this thing, I'd say, than shoot on phone because my phone, oh yeah, it's actually not that shiny anymore. The V30 I bought a cloud silver one, so this is like super shiny as heck. And if you don't make it clear, it's gonna be super shiny. So that's something bad. Let's see if you wanna shoot stuff. So I mean shoot people. So um that's like the end of the video right now. I'm gonna make some other videos about this thing once I get my adapters and stuff sorted. I'm probably gonna get some varifocal FPV, which one varifocal CCTV lenses. So what varifocal means is that it has like more than one focal length, which is like another term to be like zoomable. So it's not a zoom lens. So I found a few CCTV lenses for like super cheap as heck. So I've got like an M12 lens, which is essentially GoPro lens that goes from 2.8 mil to 12 mil, and it's at f1.4. That's like super bright as heck. Does not have AF, but I'm not really into AF. Like looking at all the lenses I have right now, these things don't have AF obviously. This thing has AF, but I didn't buy this thing essentially. I just got it for free. Now I bought this thing super cheap, and this is just a bonus essentially. And I never even used this thing. I don't even know if this thing has functions or not. Because of how long I've never used it. Now this, on the other hand, I think will be used a lot in photos. In videos, not too, but in photos, yes. Okay, so that's it, and goodbye. Hopefully, you guys have a nice day. Gonna go sleep after this. It's like so late in the night, and I don't usually sleep this late, so um, I'd be what you call it, tired right now. So goodbye.